In this video, we have dirty driving in race A. Race B sees me absolutely send it on Chelsea. And in race C, well, it's not just the chicane of death. You have to worry about at Dragontrail. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023. Week 13 this week, and what an interesting week this one is for you. Your eyes are not deceiving you in the background. Yes, that is the Samba bus. Now 13 is unlucky for some. I'm not sure it's unlucky for us because we have some unique and fairly okay races this week in my opinion. Right, what we're doing here with the Samba bus, well, we're racing Alsace test course in reverse. Yeah, that's a mouthful and a half. So we've got to go up the big old hill and then back down. It just has enough power. Well, we're doing 5 laps here. It's a grid start, comfort soft tyres, and ×1 fuel and tyre wear. That's all you need to know about the Samba bus because the bop is on. There are some timestamps there if you do want to skip over this race, but you might want to see what happens in this one because we have, it's insane to say this, a dirty driver at 50 miles an hour. Enjoy. Here we are then at the start. Obviously, everybody in the Samba bus, pick your favourite liveries there. I love Shelty's actually. Shelty went and found the perfect one in my opinion. I'm going to go one here, one of the TCR liveries. I want traction control on 1 because, you know, that traction in this very powerful Samba bus is going to... No, it's not. It just, there's no point to it. But we do get a better start than Zebra there, or Zebra. I don't know why I said Zebra. Zebra. As we go through there. And we continue on. And we're actually going to overtake Alpha Man. We're actually going to go at ×2 here, 200% speed because... it's just a little bit easier to commentate on this race when it's 200%. Otherwise, I'll be sat here going, and here we go with... No, okay, we'll stop that. Right, okay, you can see here, it's all about speed and maintaining each and every mile an hour as we head up to the hill for the first time of 5 then. And as you get to the top of here, you are going to drop a gear, and that's how you maintain your speed. So we're going to come down here. We got Jorge there, and this has got Pizza Boat 75 as we go into this left. Alpha Man looked down the inside, got a bit wrong there with that oversteer. We're going to continue on out, and we see this happening here. I'm going to slow this down now because I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go down the middle. It's big enough, this track. We can actually go 4 wide. I was contemplating 4 wide. Anyway, we're 3 wide here, but the Swiss driver's just like... I'm going to play it dirty here and push everybody off. I'm turning right so hard here at this point. I'm like, whoa. So I come back on. Now, I think the German here thought it might have been me there, but may have realized afterwards it wasn't me causing the issue, because as far as they're concerned, I'm the car on the inside. So why am I pushing them off? And I really wasn't. So we're going to fast forward here a little bit, and everyone's going to overtake me. And I'm going to end up at the back, unfortunately. So we're back at 200% here, just to keep the speed up on this race. It could be an hour video if it was normal speed here. Through the left we go, once again changing down to 3rd and then up to 4th. I will explain that. I have done a lap guide here. I've actually done a lap guide of this race as we continue towards this left-hander. Very hard corners to get right this because they got the Samba bus showing. What's we oversteer like that? And it's actually quite horrendous, really. Anyway, we're advancing further on a little bit in this race then, and we're back behind an Italian here. And we're just going to bump draft. Bump drafting actually works very well in the Samba bus. You do maintain a lot of speed here. You see we are purple as we head up the hill. It just gets difficult here. So we're going to try around the outside here. Once again, drop into 3rd, using that to my advantage, that speed. Look at the speed increase that we have over everybody else because everyone's staying in 4th. Don't stay in 4th. 3rd gear is what you want. As you see there, more dirty driving, and Shelty gets punted there by Jorge. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe the same thing happened with the Swiss driver and they thought it was Shelty. I'm not too sure. We'll actually have a look at the bloopers for that one. Let's continue on here then. They've actually left there, and the Italian looking down the inside. I was hoping they were going to bump draft me, but no, they're going to go down the inside. Their choice. They're allowed to do whatever the heck they like, and it's all good there. So I'm like, okay, that's no worries at all. I'm going to get back past you here as best as I can. Shelty's approaching the Swiss driver, as we're going to call them, because apparently nobody likes me naming the dirty driver, apparently, as we go up the hill then. Once again, into here. Drop into 3rd gear, keeping that speed up, and through we go as we advance further on then. And you can see here, Shelty's got past them, and then the Swiss driver just hits the back of Shelty. And I'm not very happy with that. Now, I was approaching this driver, and I was like, if I go for the move, they're going to push me off here. So if I go to the right, they're going to push me off here. So what I tried to do here then is go for the move, and then I'm going to instantly start turning right to make sure that I keep that advantage I had in the run. And that actually worked out well. You could say that's dirty driving. I would call that more defensive driving than dirty driving, you know, because we could see what was happening. And we're going to see actually some revenge happening there as well. As you see in the background there, the German realized it was obviously the Swiss driver, absolutely sends him off there and continues on through as well. So not a full-on punt there by the German, but once again, similar to what I did, but maybe a bit more there because of what they did as we go up to the top of the hill and down. In fact, we're going to advance towards the end of the race now as we finish in P3. It's quite a boring race, to be honest with you. You're going to be thinking a lot and not doing very much, so I'm not sure whether you want to do it or not. As a one-off, try it. Give it a whirl. See what you find about it. I think if you had a closer race, it would be a bit better, but obviously it was all over the place there. Right, so the lap guide then. We are going 200% speed here, so just be careful. Or don't worry, sorry, because it's not 100%. So keep really tight there on the left-hand side. I found that was the quickest line, really tight to the curb. And then I'm staying over to the left-hand side to maximize my entry. I don't want to turn the wheel as much as possible to maintain the miles an hour. So I click the curb there. As I go up here, as I drop under 50 miles an hour, I drop to third gear, okay? And I'm keeping it on the inside of the curb. I want to keep it as close to the barrier as possible because I want to get down the hill as quick as possible. That's the best way I found. Then I'm shifting back up to fourth gear. Now, critically, when you come to this corner, okay, I'm using the arrow on the right-hand side there. And literally, I'm trying to take a smooth line. If you turn too quick, the weight of the sand bus is going to chuck it into an oversteer. So what I found is actually breaking in a straight line, keeping a wide line initially, then foot to the floor as best as I can, maintaining that speed. Notice 45 miles an hour there. You can actually do it a bit quicker than that as well. And that is how I would drive the Samba bus here. And that's how I got the best lap that I did there, 22.1. That's it for race A, though. Let's jump to race B, where we're at a Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And we are in Group 4 machinery, which you can see right there. Now, Brands Hatch Group 4 does mean the ITT is going to be very strong here, which is why I chose that car. What are we doing? Well, we're doing 5 laps here at Brands Hatch GP. It's a rolling start, and we're on the racing medium tyres. This track, very hard to overtake, a very tight circuit, so you're looking more to take advantage of mistakes that other people make. Up into Druids, which is turn 2. That is the main primary overtaking spot. Let's jump to this race. Let's have a look exactly what happens, and you'll get a lap guide at the very end. Here we are then at the start. You see mainly TTs. We've got a Swift there in P1. We have a Ferrari behind us, I think I saw. We've got a Megane trophy as well of Cheesy. Nice to see you, Cheesy. It's been a little while. Hope you're all good there. Nice to see someone representing India as we continue on then towards turn 1. That Megane trophy getting very close here, actually. I was surprised at the acceleration of that car as we head into turn 1, this paddock hill. Now, I actually jumped this with 0 practice on the day. I'd obviously done the lap guide the day before, of course, as we continue towards the hairpin then. And I was trying to get used to this car. So I had actually gone from race C to race B to race A in that order, if you're wondering if you want to take part in the future and be in the video. Anyway, through the left we go then. We continue on out of there. We're just dropping that Megane trophy now as we continue towards this left-hander. We see Chelsea in the Scirocco there. Chelsea always representing a Volkswagen as we go through the left. We've got an Audi. Oh, yeah, BTCC livery there. Romo Mags. Hey, I like that one. As we continue on through then, as Romo Mags was just out wide there as we continue towards this fast right-hander. This one really hard to get right sometimes, especially in the TT I found actually. Really hard because sometimes you carry a bit too much, sometimes not enough speed. As we continue on through then, looking down the inside of the line, not going to quite work then. Going to slow the car down into the braking zone. We go through, we go slight tap from behind. I think just a misjudgment there. We got Padrino off there. We're going to go down the inside of them then. That's up into P11. And we get a good run of line here. We're just alongside then, heading towards the left-hander. We're just alongside. In we go. We give each other plenty of space there. Line actually gave me a bit too much room there. Just understeers off, and we take P10 then. It's not too bad, really. I said overtaking was hard, and I've made a fair few positions there already. As we go into the right-hander, I get a lot of understeer here. First lap, be careful that understeer. There's cold tyres really having an impact, I found, as we go through the right-hander. Oh, that's a Mustang off. Oh, that Naduk there. And hello to you. You said hello in the lobby. So hello back to you as we advance further on. And once again, we're behind Shelty. In towards the braking zone we go. And I'm looking around the outside of Shelty. Can I do it? No, not really here. Shelty does give me room as well, which is very kind of you, Shelty. But no, not quite going to work there as we're going to settle in behind. So at this moment, I was like, do you know what? I need to work with Shelty here. We need to get past everybody. And then I can fight Chelsea at the very end. It's all good. We'll fight at the end. So that's what we're going to do. That's what the plan is now. as we head into the left-hander then. And through we go. And Shelty absolutely nails that. Look at that. That's a beautiful overtake there by Shelty. Hello to Captain Stupendous. We're going to go down the inside of you. That's up into P8 then. And once again, I want to come over here. I'm not trying to make a move on Shelty as we slow it down there. And Shelty keeps that position, which is good to see. And continue on then to Paddock Hill. Once again, lap number 4 now. Through the right we go. Now somebody venturing off to the realms there. Up into P7 we go. It's a TCR now. Sonic in the distance there. So I was going to say 5, 6, 7. But Sonic's overtaken Cito there as we head towards the left. And Shelty caught the right-hander there at the top of the hill. Actually got a 0.5 second penalty. Just couldn't see the apex, apparently Shelty said, which is true. When you're behind someone, you can't see it. As Shelty looking on the outside of Cito. That's not going to quite work then. In towards the right we go. I just understeer a little bit there. Shelty looking down the inside. Not going to quite work then. As we continue towards the final lap then. And let's see what we can do. We know we're going to get Shelty's position because Shelty has a penalty. Well, I say that as long as I get round, of course. But as we go through here, there's a slight tap between the two. And I'm going to actually go down the inside of Shelty then at this moment in time. Up into my favourite position of them all, P6. Of course it is. As we continue on out to here, then we're going to get past Cito in the Marlboro machine as they defend that very nicely. I'm going to try and get the run out the corner. Indeed, we do get a run and a half. Look at that speed difference. My word, we got a run there. Down the inside, in towards the left we go. And there's a slight tap there, but plenty of room given to both of us as we leave that corner then. I'm like, okay, I need to give Shelty a bit of slipstream here. So I'm staying towards the left for now. And I do that. They're going to go towards that left. So I'm going to go towards the right to give Shelty that. And Shelty just bump drafts them. Just there. Nearly made it work there, Shelty. We nearly did. In towards the right we go. Once again, we're still side by side here. Through we go. And I'm up into P5. One more corner to get right here. And if I keep it right, we should be fine. There we go. One of the harder corners to do that on this circuit. We advanced towards the end. And we finished in P5. Not too bad. 9 positions gained in that race. And you see Sylvia won in the end there. A Sylvia. So maybe there are going to be a few cars here. The TT will be very strong here. It is very good on the second part of the circuit there. Right, let's speak of a circuit. Let's go to an actual track guide then. So heading towards turn 1. I'm looking for the Marshall box on that left-hand side, okay? It's a really nice brake marker. It's just after the 2, and you can brake. Now, you want to take a wide line in here. Come back across, and then down the hill you go. As you get to the bottom there, the car will turn more as it compresses. So just keep that in mind there. Hey, towards Druids End. This is Druids, if you weren't sure what I meant earlier on. On the left-hand side, you've got the red painted barrier. We're going to use a lot of these at Brandt Hatch. We always do. That is your brake marker here into this corner. Now, you want to keep it tight initially in the TT, for example, then boot it out of there as quick as possible, up into third gear and over towards the right-hand side. Now, I used to use the curb in the distance, but I started using the sign or the green on the right-hand side. It seems to be a little bit better in terms of being able to not venture off to Narnia by clipping the grass there and using the curb. So turn in, through we go, accelerate out. You can use a lot of that curb in the TT. It's very safe indeed as we head up to this left-hander. And on the right-hand side, we've got the one board or the green painted bit of barrier there on the right-hand side. Use either of those. But again, you want to take a sort of like a middle to wide line in and then come in tight at the very end of this and then just foot to the floor and the TT should stick. Other cars should do the same as well. You get a good run down the straight then as well. As we head towards this right, the red painted barrier on the right hand side, as that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes and try and maintain a lot of speed here. You want to be well over 100 miles an hour in the TT, for example. I was trying to aim over 105 and missed it slightly there, but you can see I could have carried that speed. This next one, once again, left hand side, the red painted barrier. I love these. They're so helpful. They're easy markers to follow, and they're all throughout Brandt Hatch because the British, us, we like safety. And apparently, we put a lot of red painted barriers, green painted barriers, absolutely everywhere. Continue on through Dingle Dell. On the right-hand side, we have the one board. I'm trying to get that as close to the edge of the screen as possible before I brake and turn in. And then, literally, as I brake and turn in, I should then make the curb absolutely fine. You can see that there. I just didn't cut it as much as I could have there. I could have gained a bit more time. Head towards this left-hander. We have the marshals there, or you can use the actual fencing. So you can see how the fence is a little bit different to everything else. So pick and choose how you use that marker as you will. But I use those. I get really on the inside of that corner for the camber. Really helps massively as we head towards the last corner then. And what you're looking for here is a nice easy one here, the one board there. I'm trying to get as close to that as possible, then really chuck it in and then try and accelerate out. And instead, my R's as W's then. So literally brake, turn in, I'm staying in fourth gear in the TT for example, and then try and boost it out and avoid going too wide there. If you clip the grass, it's going to send you to Narnia because it'll just pull you in. That's a lap of Brands Hatch. Hopefully that helps massively. We're done for race B now. It is time for race C, where we are going to head to Dragontrail Seaside in reverse, and we are in group 3. As you can see, I'm in a Jaguar F-Type there, and this track has one of the best overtaking corners in the game, in my opinion. I said it in GT Sport, it's the same in GT7. It has a beautiful corner. What are we doing here then? Let's find out, because we have some strategy. We are doing 10 laps here at Dragontrail Seaside in reverse. It's a rolling start. Racing soft and medium tyres both are required. ×2 fuel, ×7 tyre wear, which is big at this one. And I say group 3, and the BOP is on. I chose the F-Type because a lot of people were using the F-Type at Deep Forest in reverse. What a cracker of a race that was. This race is also very good, very, very good. Just a bit more risky in terms of where you can die in this one. Let's jump to the race then. Let's see if I die, and let's see exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start. Make sure you have all sorts of cars. This is the first race of the day as well, so expect a little bit of carnage here and a few people not knowing strategy. So we've got Grove Street ahead in the Suzuki VGT. Now, that was obviously the meta car last week in terms of time trial and also race pace. It was very strong as we head towards turn 1. We've got an Alfa Romeo 4C there as well, and we're going to go into here. So I'm starting on the medium tyre, which is normal for me. When I'm starting towards the back, I start on the harder tyre. Oh, Alfa goes a little bit near the edge of the curve there. Has to lift, and we're going to try and get by them before the chicane of death. Now, this chicane in reverse is far better. I love the chicane in reverse. I think it's amazing. It tempts you with risk, and you don't die as much as we go through the right-hander here. I say we don't die as much. Somebody absolutely died there, the Greek, as we go through, looking for a move on the French driver in towards this corner here. This is one of my favorite corners ever in Gran Turismo. It is awesome. You can overtake different lines. It is amazing. I love it. It's also a very punty corner as well, so just be careful as we head in. Oh, speaking of punting, I nearly punted the Spaniard there as we go through the left-hander. And we've got a bit of a run on this AMG Mercedes, so we're going to try the same thing again. Now, one word of advice here. If a car is going to go alongside you heading towards the chicane, back out of it, because they're going to go for it irrespective. They've got the inside, and you've just got a barrier facing you. So, as the Mercedes did there, literally just back out of it, fight another day. It's trust me, it's just easier to do it that way. So, we're going to continue on through here. Oh, I thought, man, going for a jump there in the Porsche. Comes back on there. Grove Street's just going to get it wrong with the curb and the kink, and we're going to go through. Technically 3 wide for a moment there, and into the braking zone. Up into P8 now, with the Spaniard in the distance with a 1.5 second penalty as we go through that right-hander. They're going to take that, which is going to put us up into, wait for it, P7. There we go. As we continue on then. So we've got another Porsche in the distance. Porsche are very good. MR cars aren't that good actually at Dragontrail Seaside in reverse. Just because of the curbs, it makes them all flippy and weird. And yeah, you'll see that as we go through this. In towards the braking zone we go. The French driver keeping it around the outside. What a beautiful defense there from Vrain, or V-Rain K. That is a brilliant defense. Around the outside there. Kept the position. Beautiful stuff then. As we continue on towards the S's here, and in we go, chuck it in, avoid going over the curb there, slow it down, then into the left we go. The Porsche looking down the inside, the Aston Martin DBR9, they unfortunately go wide, they're going to hit the barrier. Oh, take out the Porsche there. Ghosting didn't quite work out. 2 for 1, happy days. We take those every day of the week. So coming into here then, just understeering to Narnia apparently there. My word, that's a big understeer. Continue on out there. Oh, speaking of Narnia, somebody else there. Oh no, it's Cheesy! Oh, Cheesy's obviously gone over the curb and bottomed out and spun out there as well. So we advance to lap 5. That's when we're going to come in the pits. I would advise 5 or 6 laps on the mediums and then 4 or 5 laps on the soft tyre. The last lap on the softs, if you try 6 laps on softs, is very sketchy indeed. And so, yeah, that's what I would advise. So we're coming out here in P3 after all the pit stops. So we've done really well. The overcut, on the medium tyres worked out well. Coming into here, though, you've got to be careful of cold tyres on the first lap. I've been into the barrier, get a 1.5 second penalty. Shelty's doing his initial D impression there with some drifting. So we continue on then towards this left-hander. And we've got Reeler behind us then, and Grove Street as well. Going to continue on through there. And they just get it slightly wrong. They're not behind me here. Just to have a look at the distance. That gap growing now. 1.5 second penalty is in fact like a 2.5 second, if not 3 second penalty here. Because it's on the straight, accelerating. You're hampered all the way down this straight, but Grove Street has a penalty as well. Shelty was over 3 seconds behind. Now, as we fast forward here, it's only half a second behind there, so there's potential 1.5 second penalty being a 3 second penalty. So you really don't want to get a barrier penalty at the chicane of death. Right, now it's time to advance to the final lap. where we have a race on. This is Z4 here. Bahamas racing then. Final lap. You can see my tyres in the bottom left there. Well below half at this point in that rear right. So you do have to be careful. Through there we go. We survived the chicane of death every single lap. Happy days indeed. In towards this corner then. I love this corner. I've said it already. I'll say it again. It's a beautiful corner to get right. You just... Oh, so good. The braking, everything. As we leave there. Under half a second now to the Swedish driver here in that Z4. Heading over the crest of the hill in towards the S's. They're on the medium tyre now. I'm on the soft tyre. In we go then as we slow it down. Slow it down. Oh, got over the curve a little bit. That's compromised the right-hander there. You can see it's compromised them. Through we go. We got to run on the Swedish driver then around the outside. Heading towards this left-hander. They've still got the inside technically in towards braking zone. They absolutely send it. But they get it done. Look at that beautiful stuff there from Bahamas Racing. They're keeping that position for now. We have the chicane to go then to try and get this done and dusted. As we head over here, Bahamas was defensive there. Defends it very nicely. Coming into here we go. And I'm going to try and take a wider line through there. We go. Beat it out of there. And Bahamas Racing pops out of the curb. Oh, no. Oh, Bahamas. It was beautiful racing until that moment. Just a bit too aggressive over the top of the curb there. And it bottomed out the car. And yeah, that was the end of that. But this race is going to be another banger this week, I'm telling you. You'll get a bit frustrated with the chicane of death. I will admit that. You will. But irrespective, it is a banger of a race. A big shout out there to Bahamas and Chelsea and everybody racing. That was actually a really good race and a really good, fun one to experience. It's nice to see it, especially as it's the first race of the day. Right, lap guide time. I'm going to head down towards turn 1 then, and literally using the start of the curb on the right-hand side. You can use a 100-meter board, but I prefer using the curb here. It's very obvious and very easy to spot. Now, as you come into here, you don't actually want to take an early apex. You want to take a very late apex to get a really good run out the corner. In fact, I don't even hit an apex there, but you can hit the curb, and that's the best way to do it there, very late on. Now, the chicane of death, very hard to get right now. You can use a 100-meter board or the curb. You can only see the curb here with the daylight that I've got on at the moment. Now, you want to dab the brake or lift. It depends on what you're doing here. Now, you drop to 4th gear in the Jaguar. See how close we got there? It's easier to do. And then, obviously, this opens up, which makes it a better chicane, in my opinion, than the other way around. This corner here, my favorite corner. I've said it 3 times now. You can use the edge of the banner there on the right-hand side or the 50-meter board. You want to brake in a straight line. So you're going to point and brake. Notice I'm braking in a straight line out towards the outside, and then I'm trail braking then to come back across, okay? That's how you do it. Brake in a straight line, then start to release the brake and start to turn. Remember, your tyres can only do 100% of something, not 150%. So 50% turning, 50% braking. For this, you're going to lift at the 50-meter board then for the S's. Lift and turn in, and do it flat a little bit, but you should lift a little bit then. On the left-hand side, you've got the orange barrier. Okay, you're going to dab the brake, and I drop a gear, for example. So you probably drop a gear in most cars here and drop to 4th gear, but you turn in, try and get on the left-hand side. Get over to as far left as possible, because this corner, as you saw in the race, can kill people. The end of the red is what you need here, and you're going to dab the brake and sort of roll the car a little bit to make sure you're fine. Notice I rolled it a little bit there. Through I go, and it's just very scary. That barrier comes in, very destructive barrier there. As we head over towards the right-hand side, what we're looking for here is the start of the curb there. You can't use the 100-meter board, but it's just after it in reality. So the start of the curb is the better marker to use for this left-hander. Slow the car down, 2nd gear, clip the curb and boot it out. Be careful of going over that curb there. If the car bottoms out, you're spinning out as we go through the kink then and head towards the final chicane then. Really hard corners to get right this, so listen to my words. Hopefully they will help. Start of the curb is your brake marker. You want to brake early here. You want to keep a very tight first part of the chicane because you want the better run for the second part of the chicane. So slow it down here. Slow it down. Slow it. Over-slow it if you need to. And then through we go. I go up a gear here, but you don't have to. And then boot it out. You have to boot it out of there. So like Bahamas did, where you beat it out but just went over the curb, you just got to be careful of that. Anyway, we're going to head towards the line, and that is going to be a lap of Dragontrail Seaside in reverse. I do hope that lap guide helps you, but it's now time for the bloopers. Right, so first up, the big incidents of them all. So we're going to come into here. They're flat out here. They are slightly turning right, but not enough there. And are still turning left there. They were turning left while we were still on the grass. Yeah, I just don't get it. And I know they've got the driving aids on, which I'm a bit odd about anyway, to be honest with you. Here we have the Sheltie, and it was Jorge incident. Now, Jorge just came across Sheltie there. Nothing Sheltie could do. He was there. He existed. And here we have the Swiss driver once again. Sheltie down the inside. Beautiful move. And they're flat out to the floor. Look at that. They're still full throttle. I don't even know what to say about that Swiss driver. At the first one, you could say, okay, maybe whatever. But it's like they couldn't see us. Literally. An attempted Moses maneuver failed, unfortunately. So Heisenberg, just a slight tap there. They didn't try it. It's nothing, it's just a little mistake. I got told to have a look at that, and I had a look at it, and yeah, it's just a little mistake here. Let's have a look at some of the deaths then in the chicane. Through we go, and oh, the slightest of taps. 2 penalties, and a third one for just luck there. 1.5 second penalty for crashing and dying. Congratulations. Right, we've got another one here. Stesso. Through we go. Oh, that's the nasty one. Full blast into the right part of that chicane. 4.5 seconds. Now, don't worry. Oh, God, that was a failed turnaround. Don't worry about being on the racing line at this point. Just reverse all the way back and go for it, because otherwise you end up doing that. Another death here. This is Jindra. So Jindra leaves, so I checked out why. And it's the old MR switcheroo, where the rear wants to overtake the front of the car. So, yeah, they're gone there as well. In fact, let's have a look at this incident here with Eiffelman. How did Eiffelman end up jumping a Porsche there? So, we're looking at a setter here. Looking down the inside in towards the braking zone we go. That's a beautiful move. Well played, Eiffelman. And, the Spaniard just pushes them off there. And, a little bit of a jump there. So, they carry on racing then. And Grove Street just gets it wrong with a kink. Taking a avoiding action there, and we're going to go around the outside. So yeah, interesting one that. But that is it for this weekly race guide. I do hope you've enjoyed it, folks. If you did, give it a like on the way out. It helps it out. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.